So it's sharp 3. Without much ado, I see around 30-ish people have joined the webinar so far. While the introduction happens, we'll wait for the others to join. But I would like to thank everyone for taking time out to join us. I know it's a lazy Friday afternoon, and I mean, it takes courage out to think about, making better and not be like just all destructive, right? People here are looking at how can they increase their productivity on a Friday afternoon. I mean, that's commendable. So to kudos to all of you. It's 3. Let me just take a minute or two. Let's see if there are more people joining in, and we'll begin. Hello. So seems like people are going to join in. Well, right. So the topic is much stated out. It's all about how you are going to keep yourself motivated and how best you can increase your productivity while working remotely. We have with us Amitabh, who's the founder and CEO of PeopleBridge, and we have Raghav, who is the lead UX designer with Nagarro. I'll introduce everyone while we are waiting for others to join, right? So about Raghav, Raghav is the lead UX designer with Nagarro. He has around 10 years of experience, and he has worked across multiple domains, multiple companies, worked with the best of the industry to come out with the US of UI design that you would see. Prior to this, before Nagarro, he was with Communal Digital. He was responsible for working on the user experience journey, and he understands how an employee actually feels while working in distance work operations, right? He tweets by the ID of @Raghav CG Artist. About Amitabh, Amitabh is the founder and CEO of PeopleBridge. It's a HR strategy consulting firm, primarily based out of NCR. They consult SMBs operating especially in manufacturing and IT. Well, something about me. I am Mayank, founder of Zimeo. We are a HR tech startup. Around 2 years in the industry, we cater to around 200 startups and SMBs, primarily abroad. In India, we have presence heavily in NCR, and what we offer is a suite of HR tech solutions that you would see from ATS to separation to onboarding and timesheets, right? That said, I would want to take the opportunity to let Raghav run the show and help us identify how we can increase our productivity. Over to you, Raghav.
Thank you, Mayank, and yeah, Raghav, welcome.
Thank you, Mayank and Amitabh sir. Really, thank you for the opportunity. And good afternoon, everyone. I am Raghav. I am working as a designer, and today we will be speaking more about this situation that has been occurred around this lockdown situation, where facing the challenge for productivity, managing the productivity, and increasing the productivity. All these 3 things are essentially required while we are working remote. We all are aware that these kinds of situation is not common. We were not prepared for this, right? We had a lot of challenges, like we were struggling with the IT challenge, infrastructure challenge. Companies were not sure that how the employees will work remotely. These kinds of situations were happening very initial in the beginning, but yes, slowly and steadily we have coped up a bit, and I'm pretty sure that this trend is going to continue for the next year. For the entire year down the line, companies will be focusing on working remotely. So today I want all of you to pay a little bit, information or the things that can actually help you out for increasing your and managing your productivity in this course and time. So I think all are here. So let's start the ride. So first question is, what do we need while we are working remotely? We need, first of all, the structure. We need the deadline and the breaks. I have heard, a lot of people saying that, sir, we don't have that kind of infrastructure with us, that, at home, I could feel like an office, or I'm working from somewhere else and I could feel like office. These kinds of issues are very common, because nobody is prepared for these things, right? Nobody is having that kind of infrastructure readily available. We are used to our office environment. Similarly, while we are working from home or we are working remotely, we don't do, we do not set the deadlines for ourselves. So deadlines are all more important, that we should give a goal to ourselves. And while we are doing these goals structure, we should realize that we are humans. We need the breaks as well. So how can we achieve all these three things is more important, right? How can we start following, the basic norms that can actually lead us to somewhat make us more comfortable and productive in this time? Moreover, one thing that I would, want all of you to understand, that remote working is not just working from home. Remote working is, it could be from anywhere else. You can be working from, a cafe, a co-working space, might be, on your terrace, on your vacation, wherever you feel comfortable, you people can work. That is a remote working. Not just only work from home is a remote working. But as I say, wherever you work, wherever you are working, it is much more important to find your ideal working spot. Now, when I say ideal working spot, it doesn't mean that it should be a defined place. It is not necessary that you should have a desk, a chair to sit and work around it. Whether you are living into a small studio or a big house, finding a spot is much more important for your productivity. So please find out that one spot, that where you get that charm out of yourself, where you get that idea, where you feel yourself comfortable. And it's pretty sure that wherever you are working, wherever you sit, every spot is not the same spot for every task. For different, task, you can have different spots. Make sure wherever you are sitting, these days we are mostly working on computers, laptops, digital devices. So please make sure that you have enough natural light. It is essential for your health. It is essential for your eyes. So please, wherever you work, maintain that kind of environment, maintain that kind of scenario. So I want to, ask all of you, what is your ideal working spot? You can start typing in chat. I would be happy to read the different locations you people want, work. So these are the few common working spots that are generally available, in the house. Some people are working with their kids in the bedroom. Some people tend to work in the balcony. And yes, in early morning times, I'm sure this is a quite relatable place where you can find yourself taking up the calls if you're having early morning calls. I see a lot of people are commenting, entire families work from home, so wherever I feel comfortable, I have a dedicated work spot at my place. Shubham says that, okay, it's my bed. So see, everybody's having their own spaces, right? Akansha says that it's bed. Someone is saying study table. Someone is saying a bed with cup of tea. That's wonderful. That's totally wonderful. Because finding a spot is essential for your own self, where you get that mental peace. Now, once you have that spot, what is that thing that's going to trigger you down? What is that is going to make you feel, that okay, now I'm ready. I am, good to go for my work. What is that triggering point? That is your dressing style. Recently, I have myself introduced 50 top IT executives in this lockdown scenario. And you all will be shocked to know that the common response that everyone is giving right now, for the initial days, they were quite lethargic or unproductive because the whole time they were in their, comfortable wears like, pajamas, shorts, something like that. But let me tell you a secret. Clothes are your trigger that actually make you feel that you are at work. So please try to dress up just the way you like to go to office. Wear those formal clothes, formal attire. Take that place into a house and sit. Choose the most comfortable pair of clothes in which you feel comfortable, in which you feel that yes, I am just feeling like office. Try to create that ambience around you, because that ambience is actually going to motivate you for the entire day to work. So creating that ambience is much more important. Do you all agree with this statement? Yes, I see someone says yes. Yes, absolutely correct. Nice. Because these things are the actual more triggering point to your own psychological, because while we are sitting at home, it is all that is we are going through a psychological challenge. It's a very big psychological challenge that we have got the entire shift from a normal routine. We are shifting to a different routine, different cycle, that we were not pretty confident about it, that will we be able to cope with this environment. But we are actually making ourselves adapt. Very large IT companies are actually experiencing this thing, that the task that they used to say that it cannot be worked remotely, they are saying that people are working remotely, and they are more happy doing that. So what is making them trigger to do that? It's all a psychological parameter that is running through across. These are the most common dresses that we find, wearing pajamas till 3, so, for the calls. We are, just wearing overcoats and sitting just like, okay, we are ready for the call. But down the line, we ourselves know how lethargic we are in those attire. Now that's enough that we have made a place for ourselves. We have dressed up. Now it's time to make a focus on our work. So I'm sure most of you will be from different backgrounds. Someone will be from IT, someone will be from the HR, someone will be from the media, crafts, and different versatilities, right? While you are working within these versatilities, right, you could actually see that there are different tools that you can utilize in this tenure to make sure that you are focused on your working. Because while you're working at home, there are a lot of distractions that you can find, a lot of noise, people coming in, phone calls coming in, a lot of challenges that how do I collaborate with my team, how do I speak with my team, you know my whole day is running out, I could not manage my day, I need to ask something, how can I ask? These are the few questions, right? These are the challenges that everyone faces, correct? So these challenges can be overcome because we are living in digital era. We are actually living in an era where there are solution to everything. But the only thing is that we should know that which tool set, which ideal stack set that I should follow myself to attain this thing, to overcome these kinds of problem. So let me touch down the very three commonly jargons that are being used these days. First is productivity. So according you all will be knowing that okay, if I am working for the whole day, is it count under productivity or the actual task that I do counts under productivity? Someone says that okay, the total task I do counts under productivity. That's absolutely correct, because productivity is measured by the number of tasks you have completed, not just touched it or accepted it. And now we are working in a large MNC environment. We are working in big corporates, in teams. We have dependencies, right? It's not a one-man show. Everybody is actually looking forward for a collaboration. correct? The collaboration between teams, collaboration between different peers. During the office, you are sitting front to face to face. You can go to the desk, you can actually approach to the guy and ask, hey, I need something, please let me know. Please let me know that, when will this task be completed? But during you are working remote, these things are not possible. These things are not at all possible because we are in a virtual world, not a physical world. So we need to adhere to certain limitations that we have. Currently, for productivity and collaboration is nothing. How you interact with your team, how you join your hands together and make a task complete. That is actual collaboration. For these kinds of things, there are certain list of tools that I have find or I use myself. That's my personal experience. I would recommend you should try at least either of these. Not all, but at least most of you must be aware about few of them. But try different portals. You have to find out which stack works for you. For example, Slack is again a wonderful sharing platform. Microsoft Teams, if you are working in office big corporates, most of the companies are moving towards Teams. Office 365, sharing your file, going into a cloud environment is great. Google Suites, Troop Messenger, Crisp, Todoist, make a list, make a task list that whatever you have to do, just write it down, save it online, so that you don't have to struggle between the papers to find that okay, I have to do these 10 things. It will be always in front of you. Chimp and Champ, if you're working for a collaboration with a team of multiple people, go on to this, write the task, let them know that when they are supposed to do this. While you're doing this thing, time is taking a toll. We are running on the clock, we are running on the cycle. How to make sure that we are managing our time, we are managing our team. Even most of you would be working like within the teams. You have to manage a lot of people. How can you do that? You can actually go and work on a Team Doctor. Time Doctor and Teamwork, these two softwares are totally free of cost. You can actually try them, you can align yourself with your team, create a schedule, let them put it on that. If you are working in different time zones, most of the companies you are working in different time zones across the world. Timezone.io helps you actually identify the various time clocks. It can give you the reminders. It can give you that kind of an iteration that when you need to be online for the respective task. While you are doing this, you need to do a lot of video calls with your client. You need to speak with your peers. There are multiple free video calls or screen sharing platform like Appear.in, Zoom. We all are on Zoom right now. You all must be aware during this lockdown, Zoom's share are actually skyrocketing. They have been utilized to the most capabilities right now. Recently, a new portal is launched called by the name of AirMeet. You can use it's a wonderful platform where you can actually go on a virtual table. You can actually feel like you are sitting in a real environment. Skype. These are multiple things where you can actually make yourself focused. Now, what things distracts you the most? Let's see, like keep on typing. Let's see what is that is distracting you out right now while you're working at home. Is it the telephone calls, kids, any other environment? Yes, someone says food, hunger, TV. Someone is saying kids. Okay, quality time with parents who do not understand work from home. Okay, correct, definitely. While we are working in this environment, our parents must be thinking that what we are doing right now, 24 into 7, we are on call. But it's true. One does not simply work from home without distraction. Now, while you have these things, while you have all the tools, now it's time to, structure your day. You need to organize your day because unless until you don't organize yourself, you won't be able to organize your team even. For that, you need to follow a certain structure, similar like you follow in office. When you are at home, when you are working from any different location, please maintain that productivity level. Please make sure that you are on the same ground. What all you can do for doing that? You can actually set calendars. You can every morning check your calendar to understand that what are the tasks that are being aligned for the day. Most importantly, set your working hours. I know majority of the people who are on this platform are facing this kind of issue that since the time they are at home, the day never ends. It starts from the morning and it goes till night. Do you agree? We start from the 9 a.m. in the morning and we are continuing till 12 till night, any anonymous time. But that is not going to help. We need to set our working hours. We need to actually communicate. We need to plan the task that we are going to do in that tenure. You can tell your bosses, you can tell your superiors or teammates that, okay, I'll be working from 9 to 6. I'll be working from 10 to 8. Or, I'll be working from some other different time as per your convenience. But give them a deadline, give them a schedule of yours so that even they are aligned. They don't wait for you. This way, you both can plan your task. You can set your daily agendas. And once you're sharing with your teammates, trust me, they will respect that. They will respect that kind of activities, those kinds of commitments. Nobody will force you. What all problems do you face while you are structuring your day? While you plan for your day, do you face any challenges? You can go on to chat, type, and let us know that what are some challenges that you feel that are occurring. Okay, somebody saying service persons ringing the bell. Accountability, especially during a meeting time, not sure about the priorities. This is how actually we work. You can see most of the times we start early, but we never tend to complete our day because might be we are doing something at a home. We have our liability. We are accountable to our families even. They expect us to sit with them. Probably we are carrying the laptops while sitting on the dining table while we are speaking with them. They always think that where what are you doing? So please, whenever you are doing these kinds of things, please make a schedule for yourself. It will be helpful. Now, once you have a schedule, it is much more important to communicate even. I could say someone is asking that what if a task is taking too much of time than we thought? Should we stretch our timings for tomorrow? Definitely, I'll answer this in my slides because this is a challenge that is being faced very commonly. When we talk about setting our agendas, it is important that we should communicate even. We should communicate it effectively to our teams, to our peers, to our mentors. It could be any medium, it could be chat, it could be email, WhatsApp, it could be even video call. Now, most of you will be thinking that how can a video call be a medium for a communication? Let me tell you a secret, a psychological secret. We humans are social animals. We like to interact. We like to see different faces together. Every day we are meeting different people. we want to see a different person, so that we change, our mindset. So I would suggest, if you are facing these kinds of issues, you are facing blues, get onto video calls. Make a time-bound rule. But while you are on call, please make sure that you adhere the privacy of the other person. You adhere the responsibility that whatever you are talking something that is required. You are not wasting your own time. And while you're calling, make sure you're calling at a comfortable time. Don't hesitate in calling, but at least ask for a permission. Don't be afraid, while you're on call, ask for the clarity, ask for that details. Someone says that what happens when you have an infant and both partners are working from home. Definitely this kind of situation happens. You need to let your team know that this is the most suitable time that I can be on video call. Rest, I can be available on call, or this is the duration. If I'm not able to be on the call, I will do an audio call. Try to find out the way that works for you. Someone is saying that we see there's a very less participation of employees, and we do have a hangout call once a week. There could be a challenge. Why people are afraid to come on the call? You need to find out the reason. You need to find out that what is actually taking down. I do understand that, on time communication is important, but this is the reality. We expect that we are in a comfortable position to call, but it could be an odd situation. I'm sure most of you have faced these kinds of issues. Am I right? And totally these kinds of things happen in the early morning calls for sure. For sure. Now, while you are doing a call, do you have that agenda with you? Do you have that timeline prepared for yourself? That during that tenure, during that time when you will be having that call, you will be, having that fixed details to discuss. It is very important to run a very efficient online meeting, that there are no distractions around you. There are no things that are disturbing you, like a phone, music, TV, or some other people talking in house. Probably, yes, you cannot control everyone. Everybody can be quiet. There could be a pin drop silence. I totally understand these kinds of issues. But please, when you do these kinds of calls, make sure that it is little bit quieter place. You have an agenda while you are talking. You fix up a deadline with yourself. You say that, okay, we are going to talk about these 5 things. If it's a bigger group, let someone take the responsibility to conduct that meeting or to conduct that call. Make sure there is no distraction. Recently, I'll share my own example. I was on a call. We have a team of more than 50 people, in our circle. We all were on call, and I could hear actually someone who was eating an apple, and I could hear that munching sound. These things are actually disturbing. You can actually avoid these kinds of things. Definitely, if you have to eat something and if you're not speaking, you can mute yourself. But having calls like this, make sure you are planned for it, and you will be only planned once you have the agenda set, you have the timeline set, you have the calendar set. You must be thinking now everything that we have discussed so far is actually connecting, correct? All these things are the basic necessities in this remote cycle, in this remote working time. Similarly, there are managers who I see, they say that, how can I feel that, my employees are ready? How can I keep a track on them? How can I check on them? There are ways for that as well, but definitely at time you need to understand that they are not in office. They are at remote. So remote working time working also have some, factors that you need to consider. These are the small parameters that you should keep in mind. Now suddenly, you are working from home, and your boss says that, okay, get on the video call. This is the reality. This is the reality happens because we are not prepared for it. We are not ready for that kind of environment. Might be we are in suits, we are lethargic. Dressing up is important. Having a space is important. These things are actually, taking a toll on you. These things will actually hamper out. Now, most important thing that comes after whatever you are doing is a break. See, even I took a break. I drank a glass of water. It is important. It's not because you are just speaking. Your mind needs time to think. Your mind needs that kind of a space where it itself makes that productivity call. So please take the much deserving breaks because it is actually a good way to disconnect from the work or wind down the work and make sure your mind is getting independent and fresh thoughts. So while you see that what we are, many people will say that we are on the lockdown. How can I take a break? I'm locked in my own house. Correct? Everybody is locked down. Nobody can move out. Nobody can go out, even for anything. But if we don't understand, going to a balcony is a break. Speaking with your teammates is a break. That is what you do in office even, right? We speak to our teammates casually, give them a random call, say, okay, let's not talk about work. Tell me, how's your day going on? How's your schedule going on? How's everyone at home? Ask about the well-being. I'm sure I have seen many people on Instagram these days, they're cooking different things. Probably everybody is not a chef. You can actually try and cook one meal for yourself. Might be a lunch, a breakfast, and only a cup of tea will help. Lemon tea. These kinds of small things are actually your break-even points. They let you disconnect from the virtual world. You can try and find out some time for your hobbies. You can actually try and find out a space for yourself. Might be you can listen to a podcast. You can actually speak with your family. Go and speak to your parents, ask how are they doing, what has been their day so far. See, work is never going to end. Work will never end. There will be enough work for you for every moment, but we need to respect to our own personal space. We need to find out a difference, a gap between our working day and our personal space. So how many breaks do you take while working from home? Please be honest. I just heard someone says five, someone says two every hour, correct? So my convenience, all around the clock, don't have account. Now you all can actually experience that these kinds of things do make a difference, correct? Every time you come back, from a break, you sit down at your desk, you feel there's a difference. You have a different mindset. You feel a little bit fresh or energized. True? Now, while you are working, I just told you, respect your own self, respect your own psychology, your own body cycle. We are humans. We have a very false impression on ourselves that if I sit more for an extra hour, probably I can do much more better. If my working timings are from 9 to 6, let me take, a timing till, till 9:30. Let me do a 12-hour shift. I can complete lots of work. I can, do magical stuff. Always in our mind, we used to think, yeah, थोड़ी देर और बैठ जाता हूँ, ये और कर लेता हूँ. Let me do this. Let me do these kinds of things. But trust me, these things are never going to end. These things will never, you know, give you space. The psychological fact is the more time you spend on your desk, instead of being productive, you get less productive. Because we forget to keep account that when are we actually working and when are we actually surfing. We tend to spend hours watching Instagram and Facebook videos on social media sites right now. And our families think, oh God, कितना काम कर रहे हैं, कितना time ये space दे रहे हैं, इतना काम तो regular days में नहीं होता. That's true because we are not realizing. Working from home means that you have to stop at one point. Working from remote means you have to stop at one particular time. You can complete certain tasks, but you cannot complete everything. It's not necessary that you keep sitting and you find, oh wow, Eureka, I have a magical idea. It can happen, but not every day. It's a once in a while moment. So please turn off your devices, pause this virtual world, get into the real world, interact with real people. This lockdown has taught us this thing very clearly. We need to connect in real world rather than virtually. Take half an hour. If you cannot do more than half an hour, just take only half an hour. Engage into the home activities. Might be, pursue your hobbies. Go for reading. Do a physical exercise, yoga. Do cooking or gardening. Anything that excites you. But take a break. Get away from this virtual world and enter into a real world. Look around the nature. As per the reports, Mother Earth is actually healing right now. Ganga is getting purer. There are fishes that can be seen in Venice. Pollution levels have dropped drastically across the globe. Ozone is healing. How is this possible? Earlier, everybody used to think कि नहीं यार काम नहीं रोक सकते, we cannot stop our work. But this lockdown has actually proved it that we can actually stop. If nature wants, we can actually stop. I can see there are lots of questions coming. We'll take question answers in the last. Call your friends and family, speak to them, discuss with them that how are they doing, how are their well-being, connect with them in the real world. Might be you can learn something new, a new skill that can be beneficial, might be a side hobby that can actually make you feel more enthusiastic about the next day. This is all that I could tell you right now. Now I want you to actually start realizing these things, that what all factors can be taken into your day-to-day consideration. Now over to you, Mayank.
Well, that was a great session. Thank you, Raghav. I think there's a lot of input and a lot of actionable on everyone. So the idea to be set is what we can do and what has to be done here on. So now that the guidelines are set, what has to be done? My thought and what the reason I'm going to discuss is how to actually do it. So what has to be done, you know now. You know that there are tools to be used. You now need to know exactly how to use it. So I'm just going to take two simple tools, daily usage, Google Calendar and Timesheet, and tell you exactly that it can be done in your fingertips, even if you are as an employee or more as an individual, or even if you are the employer himself, or maybe a team manager. The idea is, if these tools exist, why not make best use of it? Now, I know a lot of people believe that paper and making a diary helps. I mean, I completely believe it. Back in school, some teacher taught me that Mayank, just list down 3 points and just follow, ensure that 3 points in your diary are complete by the day end, right? That helped me through CAT, that helped me through first jobs. I mean, a lot of accolades in life, and I still follow it. But now with every passing day, that skill has to improve, right? So what I'm going to tell you is these simple tools. I want you to ensure that if you are not able to get into complex tools, like maybe a Slack might be very difficult to you, but at least for your own actionable and maybe to your team, you can ensure that these small things can be put in place so that you don't have to follow up, right? See, push businesses and push culture will not work here. You cannot push someone to pick up a phone. Everyone is fighting their own battles. People are way discouraged. And if you are, sitting here in this webinar looking to become more productive, kudos to you. That takes a heart out, right? So let's put science behind the art. Raghav established that yes, it can be done. The art is there. Now let's get exactly how it can be done with the few tools that I'm going to show you. Google Calendar, it's a no-brainer. The screenshot that is there, it shows you exactly how it can be planned. You can have a call, you can plan even for that call. You can have a team meet, you can discuss action points for those team meets. And it's like a simple time management and calendar that you can do to yourself. So I know people are using calendar to send invites, but do you know that calendar can actually be used to work for yourself? And you cannot just only schedule meets, you can add tasks to yourself, and it can be as personal, like let's schedule morning 5 to 6 as yoga. And I'm going to show it to you right while as we talk, right? See how I'm doing it. This is actually my mobile set, right? I'm showing you a live coverage from my mobile. This is how my day looks. This was a team meet, right? There are a lot of activities planned. Let's just say this was not, you want to have a 5 o'clock meet with the team, right? And you need to, before the team even comes in play, you need to be ready with what you want to talk about it. Team meet on development status, right? And you can actually add people if you want to schedule calendars to them. You can write whoever is there, or you can actually put your own details, like discuss about plans to go live, right? And you can just save it, right? It sits there exactly on your screen. You see this team meet on development? I just created it. And I have this whole log. Every day I have this list, and if your list is not full, that means that you're missing on something. This is the best way I believe anyone can be productive. And the best thing about it is, if you're planning something, sorry.
Mayank, sorry to interrupt, but we cannot see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen, Raghav?
No, I'm afraid, but there's some network.
Well, there are people suggesting.
Yeah, we can see the screen now.
Okay, great.
Issue at your end.
Amitabh, was it missing before?
Now it's visible.
Yeah, now you can, mobile screen is what people are asking, because you were showing on mobile. So...
Okay.
So that screen was not visible.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'll just check it again. Yeah, it's connected. Okay. Let me know if you can. I'm just going to share it again.
Yes, now it's visible.
Yes.
Now it's visible.
Great. So this is a simple actionable that I've put for myself. And apologies for missing this out. What I'm saying is Google Calendar is at the tip of your fingertips, right? You use it to share it invites to you, everyone. But what you can do on the screen itself is decide on what you want to do to yourself. Like from morning 8 o'clock, I had a team meet. This was for the development bit. There was wireframing that I did. On application discussion, there was something. This tool can be best used if you can put it to your own individual use. And I mean, of course, the biggest task is to motivate yourself than to motivate anyone, right? And you can actually go create these activities like just on this team meet. I can actually invite people right here. I can just see, I can actually invite Ajay. So whoever is in my team can actually go and you can actually schedule meets from here itself. Now, the idea is not to get people to come to you, but idea is you should have your own daily list, right? If you are saying that, yes, I'm planning, it's not working, you can even plan your day-to-day activities here like yoga and many other things. So that was the idea why I showed it to you. I completely run my calendars. In fact, the meets that I even have with clients, with my team on calendar itself, it's just right at my fingertip. So easy to use that I just showed it to you. The second, of course, is a timesheet. So of course, we have it developed. So we have our expertise on this. Now, this is more for team management, right? You are good, you are productive, but there are people in your team who can always say that, yes, it was not their task, or maybe their task is complete. How do you actuate that, yes, the task is being done? So with this, I'll just share the screen again, right? It's a simple actionable time logging that you can do. You can find any event in any second. If there are team members that you would need collaboration on the solution, and even you can assign it to projects. Like I'll just show you a simple time log, right? You can just go here. You can just add task. You can just say if you're working for a client, or if you can put yourself as a name here. You can just say, and I'm doing it from my mobile. It's like one click used to me, right? You can just say that, you know, I was working on, let me say, was working on product, right? A simple thing. You can define the start time. You can say it was 16th. I was working here on evening to 6 o'clock to say 7 o'clock, right? A simple click and you get a list of all the activities you have been doing in the day. That's how simple it is. It can even sit in your calendar, right? So the activity I created actually sits in my calendar, and I get to know that, yes, this is the task that I did. This is the task that my team did. So you get, at the end of the day, what you're doing here is you're putting quantifiables to qualitatives. You actually know now that everyone is working out. Even so, you don't have to bother about who is working, who is not. It's a collaboration thing. What you have done actually is you have ensured that these 5 things I needed to be done. This person, I was expecting this, you have assigned it. And if they're not able to do it, as I said, they can actually update it that, yes, I was busy, I can do it later. But now you know where the status of your work lies. Now, again, just to summarize what we have been discussing, a calendar helps you in individual planning like anything. Again, this can be biased on my personal experiences. The idea is that, let me share it with you, that simple fingertip tools are available free of cost that can help you run your business, or maybe your individual productivity increase multifold. So individual planning, of course, is calendar. And then you can have, even if you are not an individual, as an employee, you want to show your company, organization that you have been working, you can always put up a calendar MIS that, yes, these were the activities and my day was fully logged. Here it is. And you can even schedule and undertake task management. This is one of the best time management tools I use. Now, on the timesheets, it's more of a team planning thing. If you are, this works mainly for employers or team players. Now, again, as I said, push culture will never work in a remote working scenario. There might be more pandemics in times to come, who knows? But if you're prepared, if you have engines put in place, you can actually not just ensure your productivity, but your team's productivity. And as I said, if you would put things across, like you can collaborate on ideas, people will be more participative to actually help you out. Now, as I said, you can actually assess the performance, that who was working, who was not, how many tasks X person has completed, how many tasks Y person has completed. And you can actually map it maybe to a client or a project. I mean, these are all maybe. But again, unlike a calendar, it also helps you not just with time, but a budget management as well. Well, that's from my end. Raghav, I will pass on the baton to you.
Yes.
Just ending slide, everyone. This is from me, and we take questions here on, right? Raghav was the guest speaker today. I being the host, organized by Amitabh, who's from PeopleBridge, and yes, we are reachable here on these contact details, right? Over to you guys.
Okay,
Oh man,
I
I didn't know
have
it is so
quickly.
simple actually. It was wonderful. I will definitely start using it. And Timesheet app I have not used, but I have tried using Google Calendar and all. But definitely I will try to use Timesheet app. Thank you so much.
Now let's take up the questions, and I have ran a quick poll around. So if everyone can just reply to those poll questions, you can see a poll question popping around in your Zoom window. Or if you have some different questions, please feel free to write down in chat. We will be happy to answer them. Someone just asked me that how do you get yourself away from thinking part while you are on break? So Anamika, while you are working, right, the break is essential for breaking that part only. I told you simply that when you are working on these kinds of scenarios, please don't carry your phones and laptops during that time. While you're having lunch, while you're having tea, keep them away. Might be for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Take that break. We generally take those breaks in even offices as well. It is not a one day activity that you will get to do instantly, but yes, you can start preparing yourself. Our mind is working continuously. So you need to give it a break. For breaking that, try to keep some kind of a thing on your desk that excites you, that reminds you that okay, after 5 minutes, or I can at least look at it 5 minutes apart from social media, and I can break from it. I hope I'm able to answer your question. I could see someone asking, could you please share these slides? Definitely. I'll be, Amitabh will be emailing you these slides. I'm sure I hope you all be able to get some, benefits out of it. And yes, in case if you have any troubles, we are always reachable on LinkedIn, Twitter. Please follow us. Let us know if you have any queries. We'll be happy to help you out.
Exactly. So just on the ending statement here, if you might not be coming out with questions right now, any questions you have on increasing productivity, on thoughts, any thought you have, you can share it across with the contact details shared. We will be reachable and happy to help you out.
I think there is one question which is there. All need to download some app. So I think that is something which was not answered. I think we missed out.
Google Calendar is a comes pre-installed in mostly of the phones.
Okay.
For other applications like Vimeo, Mayank himself is the founder of the Vimeo. He can actually help you out. You can always reach out to him.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was that there are also solutions like timesheets, which are free of cost. There are also like Slack, Zoom that Raghav talked about. They are all of these solutions that we listed even in the deck are entirely free.
Okay, Mayank, can you display the context slide, please? Yes. It's gone off again. If you just share it again, contact slide.
No, it's.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is on auto transition. This is on auto transition. We'll share the deck nevertheless.
We'll share the deck.
Yes. Great. I mean, it was a fantastic interacting with you all. A lot of lovely questions, and we'll be trying to look out to all of you to connect in maybe in person. And yes, it was. I mean, thank you for being a lovely audience on this Friday afternoon. Anything, guys, you want to add, Raghav and Amitabh sir?
No, that's it. Thank you. And there are a lot of questions. Actually, people would like to know more about, a lot of people are asking to have another session, and somebody wants to know about, employee engagement, how we can run. We will definitely thank you for your time and feedback, and we will definitely come out with more sessions, lovely sessions. And don't go away. And on next Tuesday, we have a wonderful session on employment loss, because as some of you would be facing a lot of challenges as far as managing your workforce is concerned. So we are having a wonderful session on employment law next Tuesday. Please do join us with that for that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You have been a lovely audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Have a great day,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.
Let's be more productive now.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. In case if either of you have any questions, please feel free to reach us out. Please feel free to reach Amitabh sir, Mayank, Mummy. Contact details will be shared and we'll be happy to help you out.